My first question for you would be, what do you think is Trump's greatest accomplishment so far in his first term, and what would you like to see him do? What's at the top of your list for the next few months of his term?
There's so many accomplishments. I don't know. The conflict with North Korea, I mean, it's so many of them. One thing that I think is an accomplishment that he's made that people didn't expect him to make because they claim he's a racist is signing into law the First Step Act, which has been the first real federal prison reform in decades. I thought that was really crucial to his administration. They got that accomplished. That's one thing that I'm kind of excited about. One thing that I want him to do more of is to have a better messaging platform. He's aggressive, right? There's a place for it. The country needed the battering ram. Now, moving into 2020, I think we need to have more solution-based rhetoric, right? Some people probably still like him being fiery, but I want to hear him talk a little bit more about solutions that we're doing in the Republican Party. What are we doing for the minority communities? And for him to continue to be strong in his approach to American First values.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you talked about the whole race issue, there are a lot of people on the left saying his policies and the way he approaches issues is racist. How do you respond to that claim?
They're wrong. I would ask them, show me a policy that he's implemented that is actually racist. Not a policy that you don't disagree with. Show me one that's racist. They can't find one. I can show them plenty of them that are not racist. I mean, they've gone too far with this racist stuff. So it's kind of hard to argue something that don't exist.
When I talk to members of Congress, Democrats, about it and ask what policy, a lot of times they revert to the Charlottesville speech when he said both sides.
Right.
There's good people, nice people on both sides.
Right.
What was your reaction when you heard that speech, and do you think that's evidence of some sort of discriminatory behavior on the part of the president?
No, not at all. These people are creating a false outrage. The president, which is consistent with the chief of police in Charlottesville, said that there was good people on both sides, meaning there was people there protesting to have the monument taken down, right? And then there was people that wanted it to stay up because they don't believe in taking down history. Those were groups that had their own mission, that had nothing to do with the white supremacists, that had nothing to do with Antifa. The police chief said that when they gave the dispersal order, those two groups that genuinely had their own personal concerns, that had nothing to do with these fringe groups, left the venue. The people who stayed were these white supremacist, evil people, and these Antifa evil folks that most people try not to talk about. They had a big old fight in the middle of the street pretty much. The president, he initially condemned all acts of hatred and violence initially. He came and doubled down on it, I don't know, multiple times. And then finally, as they pressed him, they're like, look, you can't paint everybody on this side as being bad and everybody on this side as being good. There were some reasonable people on both sides. The hateful people were obviously committing hate against one another. But the thing that makes me mad is that I don't know why they don't talk about Antifa. Because like them or not, these white supremacists had a permit. They were walking around, they were exercising their constitutional right. And Antifa came and interfered with that illegally. And they had weapons, they had masks, they had urine in bags. They were actually the biggest problem there. So I wish that they would have a conclusive conversation about this. I feel like that they're just using something that's not legitimate to try to paint Donald Trump as a racist. It doesn't work for me and probably most people in America that voted for him.
What do you think about, I was just going to ask you one other one about the monuments, though, just in general. What do you think about that? People who want to take them down?
Yeah, it's a part of history. You don't erase history, you know? And so if there's monuments that are up that offend you, then I'm sorry. Some people probably offended by Martin Luther King. Does that mean you take his sign down, pull his stuff down? It doesn't matter. It's a part of history. And a lot of times the monuments are there to show us, and we can learn from history. These people were monumental in our history and getting us to this point, whether you like them or not. So I don't agree with taking down monuments and all of that other stuff. You leave that stuff up because I feel like it's a part of our American history progressively moving forward.